Where'd she run off to?
The story highlighted something else. Oh dear, whole smorgasbord. Let's see. Alright then, here's one. So the rider is walking home when some kid starts shooting at them with a Nerf gun and laughing at them with their friends. The rider warns them that they do that again, they'll break their gun. Surprise, surprise! The following day, the kid does it again. So the rider takes a Nerf gun and then breaks it and then walks away. Are they the a-hole?
Get wrecked. No.
According to this, they actually are the a-hole.
Oh.
Although, they actually are. That's the thing. People say that they are the a-hole, but they also would have done the same thing.
Hey, wait!
Yeah, you're the a-hole, but we would have done the same thing. So who cares?
Wait.
When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Oh yeah, that kid.
Did that lady put you here? Where are you? Whoa, down, Claire. Let me talk to her.
But yeah, pretty much the saying that it's an a-hole move for the fact that it's an adult against a kid.
We're like sisters.
We're like sisters. We're all gonna die horribly if we feel fear.
What's your friend's name?
So don't be scared.
Lottie. You're both so brave. You're pretty good with kids. Come on. Okay. So you managed to stay away from the monsters all by yourself? Uh-huh.
See this one. Oh dear God. This one, like I told you, I get the I see the labels. I get to see the labels what the consensus is, and this one's a doozy based on the label.
Did you hear that? Yeah, another one
Okay.
walking shit stains.
Let's see.
Sorry, I mean butt stains. And you know what we do to butt stains. Shh, there's something down there. Oh, shit. Don't move until we give you a signal. Okay.
Oh.
Look out!
Okay.
This one's different! I can see that!
Woo! Good job, Moira.
Alright then, this story. So Ryder used to have this friend, but the friend is actually a big a-hole. Many incidents happen. This guy's an a-hole that would start rumors and pick fights with people. Right? Let's see. Ryder had this one entire incident where he actually got falsely accused of rape and pretty much only nothing happened because the person later had stopped abusing
Damn it!
Mondo. Later admitted that nothing actually happened. Ryder then has this. The writer then has this crush. Everyone in the writer's life is like, just ask her out. Even the crush's dad is like, ask that kid out, you idiot. But the writer has abandonment issues, so they hesitated, but eventually decided to tell the a-hole friend that they're gonna ask her out. Only for the a-hole friend to tell the person about the rape accusation, but left out all the important details, such as he was innocent and nothing actually happened.
I think we're clear.
Once after the writer found out about this, they managed to actually fix the whole issue, but at that point the damage was done and the person didn't trust them. So they decided as revenge to go to the go to the a-hole's car and slash his tires. Is he the a-hole for doing that?
No.
Is he the a-hole for doing that? Waiting.
I said no.
No? This was labeled everyone sucks.
Well,
We can't
Everyone in
the
this
girl.
story is an a-hole. Someone said, see. Let's see.
It's safe now. Can you find your way over?
Someone says that even if they weren't the a-hole, they did become the a-hole for essentially trying to justify their actions and shirk responsibility. And the person's like, yeah, you're probably right, but man, I feel good about
I
this.
can fit through that hole.
okay, so what are we waiting for? What the fuck are you waiting for? Wow, I have to go to it.
Let's see.
It's open.
Wow, what service? That's a really cute bear. Is he your friend?
Lottie's a sheep. The nice man gave her to me.
What nice man.
The Terra Saver guy. He saved me when I was little.
I wonder if anyone from Terra Safe didn't get caught.
Okay, here we go. Here's another story. Person works for a company. Notices something strange in the in the parking spaces. Goes up to check, and the company has female employee only parking spaces.
And you're dead.
No, it's fine. The helicopter guys always survive.
Oh, my dear little Gregor. That's cheating.
God damn it, come on!
Oh, his voice sounds familiar too.
Let's take everything for you.
Is he from The Walking Dead? That voice sounds so familiar.
It's Sam Riegel. He does a lot of voices in general. He's a very prolific voice actor. This is gonna take a while to list through because a lot of stuff. For one thing, he's the male protagonist of Rage 2. He plays Flynn in Tales of Symphonia. He plays Furio Tigre in the Ace Attorney anime.
A shame about your friend.
He's Teddy in everything P4 related aside from the original game.
Claire?
So I'm gonna look for
We lost
something
the
Walking
girl.
Dead related.
Yeah. Swear he sounds so familiar.
What is static?
What's static?
I hear static.
I'm fine.
What is this? So I got their doctors now. And boy, did so much news happen.
Really?
Previously on Revelations 2.
Mind you, it's generally not good news, but some of it is also funny news.
Where have I been taken?
Okay.
So much suffering.
You already started. I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh,
I didn't even know it was being recorded this whole time.
that's okay. It started when you were saying we have a lot to talk about.
Please.
Oh
Send
boy.
help.
I'm here, baby. Please be alive.
Here we go. First on the docket. So, Yakuza for years has been the PlayStation only series.
Okay.
Reason being, Sony was the only one who would actually let them put it on their console.
Okay.
Nintendo and Microsoft said no, which the director also found funny that now that Yakuza has become popular, as he put it, Nintendo and Microsoft have now come crawling back.
Well.
But one thing they have been doing recently is porting some of the games to PC. To see how it fares. And the reception? They sell a lot on PC.
Okay.
Like, very good. To the point where they're now considering making it so
Moira was trying to
whenever
get
they
to
make
that
it,
tower.
when they make a new Yakuza game, the game will come out on on the Sony platform and PC on the same day,
Listen, honey.
Mm.
I need you to take
which is very good because more options for people to play a series and more money for the developers and Sega. That's great news.
Moira,
Don't ask where Barry found that jacket.
I don't believe it. There's no way she's...
So that's good news.
Barry's a magical man.
Now we must wait for Atlas to do something to make a
Moira
move.
was nice.
Because Atlas months ago ported the original Catherine on PC, but I haven't heard how that did sales wise or even happy with it.
That's her sister.
Mm-hmm.
That's a case of the fact that Atlas literally has no reason
I don't
to
know.
not
Women
port
use
their
the
games to other
controller.
platforms.
I think. I'm not really
I am
sure.
serious about this.
A woman.
Like the Persona games have always been,
I read the
the mainline Persona games have always been on Sony platforms. There's pretty much no actual reason for that.
Oh.
Like Sony, like this isn't like Yakuza where Sony was the only one who allowed it. It's just a case of Atlas is like, nah, only on Sony.
Mm.
Just like how Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is the only mainline SMT game that was made on Nintendo platform. Everything else was always made on a Nintendo platform. And there's no real reason why they couldn't put them other stuff. Like, these are the people who made Shin Megami Tensei 9 on the original Xbox. So it's like, they don't really have a reason not to, is the thing. So it's just weird. Especially since spin-off titles tend to be multi-platform. Like Persona 4 has only been on PS2 and Vita, but Persona 4 Arena and Arena Ultimax have been on PS3 and 360.
Told her not to get involved.
Hmm.
Like, why have those two been cross-platform? And you have Blaze Blue Cross Battle Tag, which is pretty much on like everything. So it's like there's no real reason. Or how you have freaking
There's some over there.
Persona Q1 and 2, Persona Q1 and 2
I'll pick them off
on
before they spot us.
3DS. Yet you'll have Persona 5 Scramble on PS4 and Switch. It's just weird.
Oh, okay.
Silly Armando, you're Barry. Barry doesn't stealth. You're not Natalia who does stealth.
Forgot they have 1,000 forms.
I forgot that thing. Suddenly tried trying to turn into a Silent Hill monster. With that hip thrusting action. So let's see. What else part of this news we got? Nothing. Then that's it. Alright then. Next on the docket, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. What? Somebody talk shit about it or something?
Oh, you remind me of something else, so keep that in mind. Keep that part what you just said in mind. 'Cause I'm probably gonna forget. I'm definitely gonna forget. Right now we're talking about the voice cast. The voice cast is completely different from every other Final Fantasy VII based project to date.
Okay.
And apparently the reason being they wanted the remake to be something completely different, so they completely replaced the entire voice cast, but did say that for everything non-remake, that everything not related to the remake, they will still use the old voice cast.
I mean, I get it. It's been like 20 years. So obviously, you gotta find new people.
Dude, freaking VA for Cloud was in the new Dissidia game.
Yeah?
Like, there's been Final Fantasy stuff with Cloud in. Like, freaking for Order of Final Fantasy had Cloud and Tifa in it.
Same voice?
Yes.
Oh.
In fact, some people say that
Need a key.
Of course.
the reason Cloud is only voiced in Japanese in Smash Brothers is that apparently they would have to apparently something about the contract stating, which contradicts what 7 remake thing, but the contract stating that if they put Cloud in it, then they have to only use that VA.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's been same with Clouds constantly, from Advent Children to freaking Dissidia, same voice with Cloud in World of Final Fantasy.
Okay.
I mean, I have no real stake in this except for the VA for Sephiroth.
Oh, really? What's wrong with Sephiroth?
It's mostly because of the fact that, like, I'm not attached to any of the VAs for the Simmon cast, but I do really like the VA for Sephiroth, mostly for his performance in the Kingdom Hearts games.
Be careful.
Like, I believe it was that they got some guy to voice Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1 because he was a secret boss there. And apparently they actually liked his performance so much they then became the official VA for Sephiroth.
No!
It's just a fact that I feel like he does a really good job at doing the whole entire I'm a super evil guy, but I can also sound very normal and not always sound like pretty much the other thing of I always look evil, but I don't always sound evil.
I'm gonna get the stuff kill. Yeah! Alright.
Then also, I don't particularly like Cloud's voice. Like, it's not bad, but it's also not great.
Okay.
It's kind of why I don't really care. As for the rest, Tifa's fine. I don't remember how Aerith's VA handled anything past Kingdom Hearts 2, because in Kingdom Hearts 2 she was god-awful.
Okay.
I mean god-awful. Someone had to listen to that.
Well,
And edit that into the video game, like Jesus Christ. But back to the thing. Have you heard about what happened with Donkey?
I don't know what that is.
He's a YouTuber.
Okay.
I've shown you videos from him.
Is that the long-haired guy?
No.
Oh.
You don't actually see his face. Like his avatar is that of a donkey.
Oh, okay.
But so here's what happened. He sent me a video, essentially recapping how he felt about E3.
Okay.
And in the video, he mentioned the Episodic remake.
Okay.
And his whole description of the remake was Final Fantasy VII fans will finally realize just how stupid and convoluted the story is, and then people compared it to take all the Kingdom Hearts games and essentially put that in one game. That's how dumb the plot is. But then also stating how, despite that, the gameplay looks top notch, music beautiful, and it just looks great.
Okay.
People got angry at this.
Why? Because it's his opinion?
Because how dare he say Final Fantasy VII has a bad and convoluted plot? That is literally the epitome of people's complaints. He said the plot was convoluted and bad. Like, guys, I'm gonna break this to you real hard. I don't know. I know it's maybe hard to understand, people, but here's the thing. Final Fantasy games don't have great writing.
There it is.
They do not have great writings, let alone actual great villains.
See, but would you say the writing is more decent than Xenoblade?
Depends on which Xenoblade.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't know which Xenoblade, but either way, Xenoblade's villains are bleh. Like 2 had I'm going by actual final guy villain. 2 had the best final guy, the final villain, but even then he's still not great.
Okay.
He's still not great, and he's mostly carried by just how much of a ham his English voice actor is. Like out of Xenoblade 2's bad voice cast, that guy is the epitome of "you're so bad, I love you." Like you are so like the voice director was so bad at directing you. You were an over the top ham, and I love it. Like you are the opposite of Rex, who's just the voice work sounds bad. This is you are so bad. It's actually stupidly entertaining.
Mm.
But yeah, Final Fantasy games don't really have great plots. It's a thing. And yes, 7's plot is convoluted, considering 7's plot involves.
Over there?
That's the metaphorical
Yeah, near the big
of me
tower.
licking my fingers. You need Final Fantasy 7 on PS1,
Okay.
but then you also need Advent Children, the movie.
Okay.
But then you need the anime Before Crisis.
Okay.
Then you need the PSP game Crisis Core.
Ah, the one game I actually beat.
Then you need the PS2 game Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh. Jesus, that's a lot.
And all in all, let's just say Dirge of Cerberus and Cerberus Anna Children aren't exactly regarded for having good writing.
What? Where?
In fact, many people don't even regard Dirge of Cerberus as even a good game.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's its fans though. It's its fans. I'd be in it. It's not a bad game.
Don't you see it?
It's not a bad game. It's also not great, mostly because it tried to be super different.
There's something over there.
Like you know how Crisis Core was an action game.
Yeah.
Dirge of Cerberus is also an action game, but focuses more on, because the main character is Vincent, shooting.
Hmm.
I mean, for the most part, it works out, but it still does have very weird and dumb decisions. Kind of thing.
Hmm.
But yeah. You need all that together,
Visions
all
can
that to pretty much culminate the plot of Final Fantasy VII.
Wow.
Fairy. There's something right
That's not
there.
even me getting to the fact
I don't know
that
what
I
you
don't
see.
think highly of Final
Point me
Fantasy
at
VII
it.
fans to begin with. Let's just say there's constantly one detail that people tend to ignore and never acknowledge. And since this game's like over 20 years old, I'm gonna freaking say it.
Okay.
You know, everyone
Invisible
says how
monsters.
Sephiroth is constantly
Oh, that's gonna be
following you
fun.
throughout the entire game, and Sephiroth killed Aerith.
Oh, he did?
Yes, that's literally the most well-known thing about the game,
Oh.
and how people cry at that scene, which I'm like, no.
Oh, so that's why everyone reacted when they saw that flower girl. I was like, is she important or something?
She dies.
Welp.
And for some reason, people were like, this is the biggest deal ever. It's like, to me, not really, because she's not to me, she's not a bad character. It's more or less the fact that I didn't really have much motivation to use her in a fight because her limit
Somebody
breaks
really
revolve around
tries
healing.
this place.
But you know, cure spell exists.
Well,
Why would I wait for someone to get a limit break to heal? That's stupid. Then also, it really sours it when you're forced to use her for a boss fight right before she dies. So, me and Eagle Raptor had the same response of, I don't want to use her. No, I didn't use her that the whole entire game. But oh, and now she's useless. Now she's a sandbag. Oh, now she's dead. Okay, whatever. I don't care.
okay.
Dead weight's dead. But yeah, that's the most well-known thing because people have constantly admitted how they've actually cried during that scene. And once again, I really don't see the appeal.
Well, I look forward to the remake gameplay.
And that's why people are also complaining. Stop spoiling FF7. Like it's one of the most well-known thing about the entire game.
First off, it's a 20+ year game. Second, it's being remade.
Oh, no, we're getting to that topic later. But it's that's the main thing. People complaining, stop, why are you spoiling that Aerith died? Because it's one of the most well-known things. That's why. That's why people make jokes about freaking, like, someone actually photoshopped a target onto her back.
Oh.
It's getting
Saying, I love her new design. There's a big bullseye on her back. But
Well,
the main thing when people forget is the fact that you constantly see Sephiroth throughout the entire game. You know, the fact that Sephiroth is either A, a figment of Cloud's imagination, or B, not actually Sephiroth, but his mom Genova.
excuse me?
In fact, the Sephiroth that killed Aerith was Genova. The actual Sephiroth is in a giant block of magical ice, and he's only a torso.
You're telling me Sephiroth's a woman?
No.
What?
Sephiroth controls his mom, who's an alien. Freaking uses her to pretty much copy his shape and says, "Hey, go out do these things for me. Cause I'm trapped in a block of ice. I can't do nothing all day."
And he's just a torso, so he's dead already?
This way once.
No, he's not dead, but he's just a torso.
Moira,
Like when you
Moira,
finally see the actual Sephiroth, he's a frozen torso.
Oh. Jesus, that's
He
fucking
has-
anticlimactic.
He has no lower half. In the whole entire game, he's been manipulating his mom, Genova.
Hold up.
Part of the game, he's been manipulating his mom, Genova, so all the horrible acts that Sephiroth did, he didn't even do them directly.
Hmm.
The only thing you can technically constitute as him doing it directly was constantly mind controlling Cloud.
Mm.
Then also, the final fight where Sephiroth, once again, you're not fighting a real Sephiroth, you're fighting a Sephiroth in Cloud's head.
Ah, so it's a Dead Space thing. Got it.
Like the actual real final fight, Sephiroth, it's not the real Sephiroth.
Are you gonna be warm
That's
enough?
Sephiroth in Cloud's head, and not only that, but
So
and
where
this
are
will
your
make it
mom
really
and dad?
anticlimactic. So in this
They
sequence,
died.
the character models
You were there
are
when
actually
City went down?
higher quality versions of them, so they look real
None of
good.
This could have been easy.
And you have dramatic camera angles and shots, all while Cloud's limit break is filling up, so you can just
Some people
annihilate
like me
Sephiroth
to
with
protect people
Omni
like
Slash.
you from bioterrorists.
And it's a great dramatic moment,
So
great
where'd you
set
go?
piece, beautiful. Time for me to ruin it.
Terra safe
Well,
me in a home.
Sephiroth has 1 HP.
Facility.
Are you serious?
I won't ask.
They
you.
want to make it so you don't lose, so Sephiroth only has 1 HP in that fight. And to make it worse, if you're like me and you have the counter skill, then once Sephiroth tries to hit you, Cloud will counter and will just finish him off in 1 hit because he only has 1 HP.
Well,
Pretty much ruining the
What's
scene.
wrong?
It's hilarious. I didn't even do that intentionally. That was by accident because I kept I waited too long to hit Omni Slash. But yeah, there's a big moment. Your final fight only has 1 HP.
kind of ruined FF7 for me.
Nice.
I mean, it's still a good. It's still a very good game. There's a fact. This is the main problem of FF7. It's a very good game, but Final Fantasy games before and after it have done what it did better.
Okay.
That's the problem. S7's big thing is the fact that it had 3 discs. It was the first one in 3D, and trust me, it looks like the first one in 3D. But there's the fact that Final Fantasy VI did everything it did better.
Be careful.
Final Fantasy V did everything it did better. 4 did what it did better. But that's the problem. 8 did not do better.
Good old
There you-
Squall.
There you go. 8 did not do better. But yeah. 7 has this problem. Again, I'll back to that debate I was having with people for a good while. For summer vacation. The question of should you be allowed is is it wrong to spoil a 20 plus year old game?
No.
Let me check exactly Final Fantasy VII's US release date.
Wasn't it like 1997?
Let me check. January 31st, 1997.
Yep.
This game is what came out like freaking 1 year and freaking 21 days after I was born.
Ah. And then it came out, let me see, about 4 months before I was born.
And people are saying that, people try to have the argument saying how whether or not it's right to spoil something so old. Most people say yes.
Woo!
Most people say yes for the reason being, so long as the thing is easily accessible, there should be no issue. As soon as this game has been ported to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and recently Switch, you literally have no excuse. You literally have no excuse in why you can't play it.
Yep.
And other people try to defend it, claiming, "What if I don't want to? What if I don't want to play the original game? Well, it sucks to be you. Get off the internet." Like, here's the thing: the world's not gonna accommodate for you not wanting spoilers. Don't want spoilers? Get off the internet. Fuck. That's all you can do, because people are gonna compare it to the original. It's like question. You know how they're making the all-female version of Rush Hour 1?
Wait, what?
I told you this months ago. They made an all-female version of Rush Hour 1.
Okay.
Like the last thing I heard was that they currently have the actress who's gonna play Jackie Chan's character, and that they were trying to do casting, trying to find the woman who would play Chris Tucker's character.
Okay.
Like, does that suddenly mean you're no longer able to talk about spoilers with the original Rush Hour?
No.
There you go. So we'll just make this whole entire thing dumb. People complain about that, saying, "No, you can't talk about spoilers because I didn't play the original." Then play it. But I don't want to play the original. I want to play the remake. Take it off the internet. That's just the main thing. Like, I don't want to play the original. Well, sucks to be you. Because I did play the original. Some people try to make the case of, well, what if the person was too young when the original came out? Once again, there's been ports. You can play the original. I played FF7 on the PS3. What's your excuse? Yank out that Switch. I know you got one, and buy it off the eShop for $20. Yeah, I sell over $20. Them ports ain't cheap for some reason.
Well.
But yeah, that's the other thing. Final Fantasy plots were never great, and their villains were never really great either. Like, let's go over the most beloved Final Fantasy games for their plots. So we just did 7, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Next up would be 6.
Okay.
6 and its villain, Kefka. Is Kefka a great villain? As everyone usually says, he is until part 2 of the game. As Kefka's an evil clown, he practically runs the Empire. He does a whole lot of atrocities. He poisons an entire nation in like 2 seconds. No, seriously, somehow they all died in 2 seconds.
Wait, he's a clown?
Yeah, Kefka's the clown.
I think I've seen him then.
He's one of the most beloved villains of Final Fantasy because he technically won.
Ooh, okay.
Like, he achieved godhood and technically destroy the world. I'm gonna put that. I say technically because, well, here comes the problem. So here's the thing. Final Fantasy VI is a part 2 to the game called The World of Ruin. And it's the aftermath. It's very much the aftermath that takes place several years after Kefka destroyed the world.
Okay.
This feature was originally not intended. Originally, the game is gonna end with you preventing the World of Ruin and calling it a day. Ragdoll. But since the developers were ahead of schedule, they decided to include the World of Ruin, which ended up having its upsides and downsides.
Okay.
Upsides, it allows you to flesh out the characters more, give more detail, add in more characters who have literally nothing to them, unfortunately. But the biggest downs, and also the idea of seeing stuff like people who live day to day in fear of Kefka, or people who worship Kefka as a god. Here comes the problem. Kefka does nothing in the World of Ruin. People say that all he does all day is essentially shoot god lasers and destroys towns, but there are still towns just fine. So he doesn't really do anything. He just waits for you to come and kill him. and that's it. That's why part 2 of the games where people say the narrative falls apart.
Mm.
Not only that, you have to go and get your party members back, but it's a side
This is where I met
quest.
Moira.
All you need
Good.
is the minimum
Let's
of
pick up
4
the pace.
people. There's a grand maximum of 12 people, or not, I think it's 12 or 13 people, but you only need the base minimum of 4. Because pretty much the idea that they've all essentially moved on with their lives and are doing other things. Like, for example, like technically 6 has no main character, but if people generally say if you gotta pick one, then they pick Tara.
Mm.
She's moved on to essentially helping this couple run their orphanage,
Who's there?
and when a giant monster comes to attack the orphanage, she just has to go fight it off, only to realize that because she spent so long not fighting, she's pretty much got a whole lot weaker as a result, and ends up like the monster still leaves, but she still loses the fight. And so for a good while, she pretty much feels like there's no point bringing her along because she's useless. She's useless.
Okay.
It's just a whole entire sequence. It's a whole entire good sequence. You need to give her time to pretty much find the determination to keep going, which is the fact that meanwhile Kefka just sitting around twiddling his thumbs. That's it. That's all he does. Like, he doesn't do anything. Like, he got what he wanted and then realizes I have nothing left to do. I guess I'll just sit here. So, how's it going, everybody?
It's getting
How's your day? I'm your god, Kafka. Please praise me. Worship me.
You know, from the only Final Fantasy game that I beat, I'd say I like Genesis. That's his name, right? The guy with the red and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
I can barely remember jack all about Genesis.
Mm.
Although Crisis Core also has its problems. Problems being the fact that they kept essentially making the whole entire one-winged angel thing be more and more lame.
Mm.
They pretty much took Sephiroth's one thing and then gave it to 2 extra people, and it just made it lame as a result.
Barry.
That's one of the problems with Crisis
Something over
Core. It accidentally makes Sephiroth lamer in comparison.
Okay.
Let's see what else.
It's getting closer.
Oh yeah, that and also the fact that the game tries to have the romance between Zack and Aerith.
Okay.
Problem being, Aerith's like 15 in Crisis Core.
Oh, that's a plan. I thought that was an enemy.
Aerith's 15 in Crisis Core,
Well,
and Zack's an adult.
yikes.
So yeah, not thinking things through. Let's see what else. Let's see, biggest issues with freaking Final Fantasy X. Oh dear lord.